2024.
The wait is over in Bahrain, and we are just hearing that the starting grid is on the look for a new driver. Who will it be?
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep.
And radio is good.
Here we go.
The Grand Prix is underway.
What a dramatic start. Can you believe it?
Legs feel like they're gonna bleed.
Yes!
Spawn out of my
Oh, he's lost it.
Pop out, guys. That's it.
The pit lane's going to be alive now. They're all in.
on my own. Here we go. Mind is set on an overdrive. On my own. Here we go.
It's not every day that we get to see such incredible wheel-to-wheel racing.
Out of the final corner. And here's our winner today.
Can you beat me?
What a race. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to the
Welcome
fans.
in, everybody, to China. Prowler Racing League for round 2 is the Chinese Grand Prix, located in Shanghai. Our drivers tonight are actually going to have a fun time getting their way around turns 1 and 2 as they go up the hill, making their way down into sector 1, make their way all the way back to that long straightaway between 13 and 14. 14 is going to be a major overtaking spot. So that is Shanghai. We already got cars out on track, which is great news. Looks like everybody has... Find out in a second. But as we go over our first round, which was in Coda, Mr. Chris was our winner at that round, vaulting Mercedes up into the lead with 34 points. Aston Martin behind in 30th, 30 points. McLaren 16, Alpine 15, Sauber 5, Racing Bulls 2. With Ferrari, Red Bull, Haas, and Williams not scoring anything. Those points brought to you by our drivers. As you can see, Mr. Chris now leads the championship. We've got cars out on track. So right now we're actually looking, mostly everybody's on outlaps. But let's head over to the track to get to that situation as cars are coming around. Like the Red Bull. Oh, that's Pixlin. Pixlin is serving a quali ban from last race. So he set his settings coming back around to the pits and he will retire. So he's following that procedure correctly. Let's head to see who else is out on track right now. Looks like this might be Mr. Chris. At Mr. Chris. Yep. I believe that is Mr. Chris. So we'll go with Mr. Chris. Let him know that his telemetry needs to be updated. Okay. All right. And Nico, our other driver that is starting from the back of the grid due to being a rookie, is retiring as well, which is Pug Life. So currently no times. Let's look here. Let's Vans. Let's head down to him. Vans set his time across the line, 134.4. I believe Vanilla is our next set in purple sector, first and middle sector. Coming down that long straightaway on the back there. Coming across the line. Says the time of 1:37.11. Looks like Sasuke just set a time. Some good salt right behind. Come across the line up to P2, 1:31.611. Next car looks like it's going to be setting a time is going to be DRL Racer X. Head down there. Game's a little slow on the return. Heading down that back straight. Cross line, DRL Racer up to P5. Zoluxi setting purple mini sectors and a fastest first sector. Zluxy making the way around turn 12, turn 13, putting the power down, trying to get onto that long straightaway. Only a personal best in that middle sector. Coming around turn 14, heavy on the brakes. Deploying that battery. Cross line up to P3 behind Mr. Chris. Next car that's putting down some time is going to be DRL Racer X. Heading down that back straight. Oh, a little bit of confusion going on with her system here. Hold on a second. So that was an invalidated lap for that Alpine, which I believe that's actually going to be Dude Chef. Yep, because Mr. Chris has his telemetry on. Oh, there is a bit of a goof there. Ayo. Oh, what? Oh, I'm having some streaming difficulties here. Yep. has slight hiccup in the stream. All right, so let's go out on track. Let's see who's putting down some times. Looks like Vans is out on a lap. All right. Let's go check out Some Good Salt. He's out on track right now. We only have 2 cars out on track, which is our championship winner from season 3, Some Good Salt, and Sasuke in P8. Oh! Salt getting very squirrely there. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time. He's not setting any personal bests so far. Doesn't look like he will improve time nor position on this one. We'll hang with him for a second here. Personal best in the first and second sectors. Up to P6 with a time of 1:32.043. Having some real technical difficulties right now. Not sure what's going on. So let's head down to his teammate King C Dot. Five minutes to go. We've got up at the top is Vanilla Spilla. Looks like Mr. Chris, if we can catch him quick. Game will lost to scroll fast. Cross the line. He's up to P1 130 304 for Mr. Chris. Looks like modern tie. Apologize. The game is a little slow on the uptick here. He's already across the line. He was setting green sectors as we go. Next car looks like Vans. If we can scroll down to him fast before the game freaks out. Oh! Vans stationary out of the hairpin down at turn number 14. Fortunately, that's going to ruin his 2 personal sectors they had. He might come into the pits. Yep, he's going to come into the pits and get some fresh tires possibly. So it looks like we have a few cars on track. Not anybody setting any blistering times. C9 invalidated their lap. Go DRL Racer X. Towing along his teammate of Hayden behind him. The only car currently setting a faster sector is currently Dude Chef. Not personal best in the first sector. The personal best in the middle sector. Comes into the pits. All right, so that is qualifying complete. A few cars making their way around. Actually, Zaluxy, if we can catch up with them. Zaluxy now coming around. Oh, invalidated. So this lap was a purple sector 1, green sector 2, but invalidated. Zaluxy taking out the front wing across the line. Looks like Modern is going fast. See if they can improve. P6 for Modern Tie. That is a movement up. So that is your qualifying results. Mr. Chris, P1. I'll pull up the calendar real quick. Bear with me while our drivers go and get their settings set. Ooh, it looked like rain there for a second. It does look like rain. So our drivers are now going to be getting their setups slightly modified due to the rain. Drivers should have been checking the weather status before qualifying, so they knew that they need to get their cars to a wet setup, but try to make it as best as possible drive on the dry compounds to set a fast time. So now everyone is in the Discord swearing about the rain. Few drivers saying that the game actually notified them incorrectly. So hopefully drivers did set up their cars as best they could to make it work. We shall see. I apologize for the slight issues we were having technically wise. The sound wasn't going correctly. We had a few data issues. Still haven't seen if that got corrected. We will find out once we go trackside. So far, both streams are going. Everyone is talking. Looks like most people were not expecting rain. So the forecast all right. Looks like everybody's getting themselves settled out. Let's get ready to do the rundown. As we said, Mr. Chris on pole. Let's go trackside. Getting ready for these guys to go racing. Again, we're not running a formation lap in this race. They're wishing each other luck in the Discord. We'll see how this goes. Three, 4, 5 lights. And we are underway. These wet conditions making it very difficult to see. Mr. Chris out front. Everyone making their way through turns 1, 2, and 3. So there's chaos in the back. Ooh, Pixelin gets a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. That will have to be served later on. Looks like our biggest downfall on that one is going to be Dero Racer X all the way down in 18th. Mr. Chris and Dynamic, the two Mercedes drivers, taking the gamble and starting on the intermediate tires, whereas everyone else is on the full wets. Everybody not really deploying the battery to get that extra power, as grip is very low right now. The only car we cannot get any data on is Dude Chef down in 14th. As you can see, people are deploying as they go down the straightaway. That straightaway is going to be your best bet going into turn 14. Zaluxy right on the backside of Vanilla. The leader's way out in front. Whoa, looks like Dynamic gets a little wide there. The field is spreading out quite a bit. Vanilla staying right on the backside of Mr. Chris. It'll be interesting to see how well these wet tires versus the intermediates go. They're hanging with each other. Let's head to the back of the field and see what else is going on back here. We saw a Dynamic go a little bit wide, hunting down Salt. The game is predicting it's going to be wet all race long, so that should be interesting to see. Let's see which drivers actually took the time to practice in the wet versus drivers that are kind of just winging it. Everybody keeping it clean for the most part. Sasuke getting a little wide coming out of the corner there. Again, I apologize for the connection issues. We're having a hell of a time right now. Issue we're having right now is a network issue. I might need to turn off some stuff on my home network. Bear with me for 1 second. Apologize, everyone. We're having issues right now, as you can tell. All right, so it looks like we had a crash with our software. I believe that was due to one of our drivers not giving us the right data that we needed, which kind of just crashed everything. So we're going to rely on EA's graphics here and continue on. So as you can see, Mr. Chris out front with Vanilla Spill behind. We're on lap 7 of 28. So far, our biggest changes is going to be AO dropping down 4 positions. Zaluxy sets the fastest lap of 1:43.120. It is still wet out there. The field is very spread out, as you can see on the mini-map. Our reserve driver of Pug Life in P8, right on the tailpipe of Sasuke. Pug is up 10 positions, going for a move around the outside of Sasuke. Can't make it happen there. Sticks in very closely. Oh, almost rear-ending Sasuke there. Let's see if Pug can stay with Sasuke here. Currently one of the closest battles we've got on track. Sasuke getting very squirrely out in front. Pug Life staying right with him the whole time. Both Sasuke and Pug are on the intermediates with about the same life, only a lap difference. Oh, big contact there. Not sure what was going on between Sasuke and Pug. That's going to bring out a VSC. Sasuke is out. Looked like Pug was on the inside, possibly squeezing over, but not 100% sure on that one. I'm sure that one will be sent in for review later. Oh, Vans speeding under VSC now gets a drive-through penalty. We're back racing. Some good salt right behind Pug. Ooh, Pug getting squirrely there. Salt getting right on that gearbox. So far, your two biggest winners so far for strategy-wide is Mr. Chris out in front and his teammate Dynamic in P4, both starting on the intermediates, whereas everyone else has transferred over. Oh, and we got Pug coming in for pit stop. Couldn't see any damage, but you might just be coming and get off those tires as the track appears to be drying out. Still looks like it's raining a bit. Oh, he's serving a drive-through, it looks like. Back onto the track he goes. Let's go check out the battle by Corey and Modern. Pretty close together. Yeah, it's still raining. They're not going to be changing out anytime soon. Mr. Chris setting down the fastest time with a 1:42.597. Still on those intermediates that he started the race on. C-Dot going for the move on his teammate. Hopefully they don't fight that one out. As teammates, you never want to make contact with each other. C-Dot getting past Corey. Cross the line. C-Dot on the intermediates versus Modern and Corey, who are still on the wets from the start of the race. Head around, look at some of the other cars here. So we have, it's like Boogie getting past AO. I think AO, yeah, AO is coming to the pits. Now, if you are confused, AO is actually in the wrong car tonight. We don't know if he selected the wrong one or what happened there, but AO is actually with the kick team. So if he scores points tonight, those points will go towards kick. Back onto the track he comes. Looks like he got a few cars as well in the pits. Ooh, VSC might have been for Vans with a DNF. Not sure where that happened, but that's going to neutralize the field. And we got our first couple cars on the hard, so it must have stopped raining enough to feel like they can justify going onto the hards. Our leader's still on those intermediates. Pixelin with a drive-through penalty, speeding under VSC. That VSC was ending, and he probably caught him out. We'll stay with our leader here as he comes around the long back straight. We got a lot of cars into the pit. A lot of drivers switching over to the hards, which if it's not going to rain the rest of the track or rest of the race, that is the way to go. Oh, Salt crossing the pit lane exit. Getting a 10-second penalty for that. Mr. Chris into the pits as we were suspecting. Seeing as Dynamic has gone to the hards, more than likely that Mercedes strategy will be to go onto the hards as well for Mr. Chris. And they put on the white wall hards. Vanilla coming around to the last corner now. Mr. Chris with more than enough time to maintain that. Oh, Mr. Chris getting really squirrely coming out of the pits. So even though the track is drying out, there are still sections that are very wet. So we'll go through the order right now. Let's actually pull up everybody's position change just so we can kind of give a view of how this race has gone so far. We're on lap 13 of 28. Mr. Chris out in front, dominating the race so far, followed by Vanilla Spilla with a very close behind Zaluxi in P3. The other Mercedes of Dynamic much further back than that front group, so he's not going to be able to really fight for that podium, but that is a healthy scoring of points for Mercedes. Next up, we've got Hayden up 3 positions from his starting position on the grid, followed by Some Good Salt, who unfortunately did get that penalty for crossing the white line, exiting the pit lane. Next up, we got Modern Ty P7 getting chased down by King C-Dot. Ayo! Setting the fastest lap of 141.147. King C-Dot P8 up 4 positions. Zaluxi taking that fastest lap back, followed by Pug Life in P9 up 9 positions. Now Pug had to start in the back because he is a rookie, and this is how we kind of vet out the newer drivers, is by letting them cleanly work their way through the field. Unfortunately did have that very close incident with Sasuke, which is very frustrating for Sasuke because I believe he is in the UK, so he's up very late or early depending on your point of view. Next up, we've got Corey down in P10, scoring that final point, down 1 position from where he qualified. His goal is to finish here or higher, keep scoring points like he did last week. C9 in P11 up 3 positions, followed by his teammate AO, who's only down 1. Pixelin, our Red Bull driver, up 4 positions from starting in the back due to a qualifying ban. Next up is Boogie in the McLaren, followed by the last running Dude Chef. So let's go back up to C-Dot, who is our closest battle right now. Oh, C-Dot going wide at the hairpin, allowing Modern to pull away, and now he's going to become under attack possibly by Pug. That may have just been an dry tire on a still damp track. Everybody glitching a little bit there. So that was our closest battle. It's gone, but now let's move up to Zaluxi and P3 hunting down Vanilla Spilla. Track continues to get drier. Cars are locking up as they come through the corners. Through the long sweeping in Sector 2. Zaluxi not letting Vanilla get away. These two used to be teammates last season at Haas. No love lost between them. Zaluxi up to P2 after making a move on Vanilla. Now Zaluxi is on their way to hunt down Mr. Chris, who's only 6.7 seconds ahead. These two can kind of work together. They should be able to catch up. Mr. Chris up ahead. Pug Life closing in on C-Dot. Let's check out that battle real quick. Pug going on the inside along that long corner before they get onto the straightaway. See if Pug can make the move here. This is where the incident between Pug and Sasuke happened. Pug gets ahead of King C-Dot. A little jerky on there. We believe Pug Life is actually on controller, which will explain the jerky motions as he's steering. C-Dot staying right behind, getting that DRS. Iron tie out in front of them. Mr. Chris, that's fastest lap on that hard tire, 134.201. Heavy braking from Pug Life. C-Dot having to take a little bit of a maneuver to avoid collecting him. Round we go. Boogie making a move on Pixelin. Pixelin swerving quite a bit there. The angle may have looked like it was moving under braking, but I believe it was he defended and then went back to the racing line. A very questionable defense there. We'll see if Boogie reports that. But as of now, Pixelin stays out in front to Boogie. We're on lap 17 of 28. Pixelin defending against Boogie. Next closest battle is going to be Vanilla and Zaluxy still. Oh, that is excessive weaving there from Pixelin. Boogie can't make the move. See what Boogie can do here. DRS is open. Not close enough to make a move there into turn one. Down to turn three. Head up to Zaluxy and Vanilla. Still a very close fight between them. See if Zaluxy goes for a move. DRS is open on this long straightaway. Zaluxy looking for making the move on turn 2 into 3. Zalexi staying right on the backside of Vanilla. Heavy braking for both drivers to come around the hairpin, heading on to the main straight. Let's go check out Salt on Dynamic. Looks like there might be a move on the back straight between Boogie and Pixelin. Boogie making it happen into the hairpin. Pixelin takes it back. Boogie stays ahead. We're watching the battle right now between Salt and Dynamic. See if Dynamic defends the inside. Salt tries to go. Makes it past. Now if he can put the power down coming out of the corner. Gets a little squirrely. Dynamic could stay with him. And Salt. P4. Battle between Zalexi and Vanilla. Zalexi is going to have DRS as Mr. Chris goes past. Zalexi staying right behind Vanilla. DRS is open. Let's see if Vanilla defends the inside. Vanilla maintains the racing line and Zalexi doesn't go for a move. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Mr. Chris is out in front by 8.2 seconds. We got a yellow flag. It's the Ferrari of Hayden. Spun around. Getting going again. Hayden currently in P6. Up 2 positions from where he started. Same age as the rest of the hard runners. So far, only Salt with 10 seconds and Corey with 3 seconds in penalties. Salt and Dynamic still going after each other. We'll head back with Dynamic and some good Salt as they're coming around turn 3. Dynamic doesn't necessarily need to fight Salt so hard on this, as Salt does have a 10-second penalty. We're on lap 21 of 28. Got another yellow flag. That is a is that a Williams? That might be a Williams, a Pug. Yep, looks like that might have been Pug. They got sideways, slowed everybody down there. But Dynamic and Salt still going after it. C9 getting past AO. And Corey. Corey making the move on the inside there of 2. Kind of a little bit gets hung out to dry on 3. Fortunately, that puts Corey down to P11 outside the points. He's staying so close to C9. Looking to take any advantage that he can. Again, I want to apologize to all of our viewers. We're having some connection issues. Ao not staying with C9 that much. Korea pulling or Ao is pulling a little bit of a gap on Corey. Can't do anything about it. Let's head up to the front with our leaders again. Zeluxy, whoa, holding off Vanilla. Vanilla desperately trying to get ahead there. The gap to Mr. Chris has gone down a little bit. Heavy braking from both drivers. Looks like next up we've got Hayden, who's getting very squirrely there. That might be a net coding issue, but with that, we have Pug right behind him. See if Hayden holds the line or defends it. He holds the line, heavy braking into the hairpin. Pug directly behind. DRS open again for Pug as he's hunting down Hayden. Hayden maintaining position. Pug trying to go around the outside of turn 1. Getting very close there. Hayden holding turn 2 and turn 3. Pug right there with him. Zeluxy and Vanilla swap positions. Lap 24 of 28. Hayden defending against the hard charging Pug Life. A little bit of a break there for Hayden. Smoking the tires as he's coming through. Pug getting a little squirrely. That's going to give breathing room for Hayden. Oh, Hayden going very wide. Gets off the throttle. Does not get a penalty for that. Gets back on it. But Pug is right there. Hayden maintains the racing line. Pug is going to have to heavy brake. Tries to make a move on the inside. Can't get it done there. Onto the main straight. Pug still hunting down Hayden. Pug heavy on the brakes, not trying to hit the Ferrari of Hayden. Zeluxy and Vanilla going at it again on the main straight through turn 1. Check on the close battle between AO and C9. These guys are technically teammates. We'll have to have a word with AO about making sure he selects the correct car. We'll also have to have a conversation with Dude Chef because we believe that the telemetry issues were due to his car not set correctly. Back up the order, looking at Zeluxy and Vanilla going after each other. Looks like Pug did get past Hayden. See if Hayden will come back at him. Hayden's possibly deploying, going hard at it. Heavy braking into the hairpin. Hayden gets the position back, but now he's got the power down. Keep Pug behind him. He does so going through the final corner. Across the line, starting their next lap. Pug going around the outside. Turn 1, Hayden having to squeeze through turn 1 and turn 2. Great close battle between these two. Hayden now on the outside, a little bit hung out to dry. Side by side. Next heavy braking zone. Hayden on the inside maintains that P6. Pug staying right with him. Oh, Hayden receives a 3-second penalty for that little bit of track infringement there, defending so hard against Pug Life. Now, Pug Life could just sit back and stay within 3 seconds and will inherit P6 from Hayden, but I don't think that's going to go that way. I think Pug is going to go fighting for it the whole way down this back stretch. Hayden defends the inside. Heavy braking into the hairpin. Looks like Pug may have gotten the better exit. Side by side. Onto the front straight. Got a slow-moving car up ahead. That might have been one of the Red Bulls getting out of the way of other cars on a lead lap. Oh, Pug getting sideways there through turn 1 and 2. Let's check out the swap between 2 and 3 of Vanilla and Zluxy as they come through turn 1 on lap 27 of 28, which means that Mr. Chris is actually coming up on back markers right now. First, he's going to come across the Haas of Modern, and then he's got the battle between Hayden and Pug, I believe. Yes. There you can see Modern in the back there, trying to catch up to these two that are battling out the whole time. All while Mr. Chris is hunting that group down. They're going to get blue flags soon. They'll have to get out of the way. But I don't think that's going to happen before the end of this race. As we're coming now down the back straight. Hayden defending against Pug. 3-second penalty for Dude Chef in the back. Pug sliding sideways around that final corner. And around that final corner comes our race leader, Mr. Chris, starting lap 28 of 28. And 9 seconds behind is the battle between second and third of Zluxy and Vanilla, going back and forth, lap after lap. This is where the podium is going to be decided. Just a hair further back, we got Some Good Salt and Dynamic battling it out. Salt does have he goes wide there. Comes back across onto Dynamic. Salt getting very bent out of shape there. Dynamic breezes on by. Salt recollecting himself. Tough break for Salt. All while we'll head back. Then we got Hayden and Pug still going after each other there. Next closest battle is going to be AO and C9. Teammates, although they're in different cars. But it cannot be under stressed. Ooh, Salt getting past Dynamic there. But your race leader coming up on the back markers. Dominated this race with a great strategy of starting on those intermediates. And across the line, you got Mr. Chris in P1. Next up, Zluxy and Vanilla. Across the line, Zluxy beating out Vanilla. Next up, we've got Some Good Salt still battling it out with Dynamic. Surprising that Dynamic got back behind Some Good Salt as they're battling it out again. Salt with a 10-second penalty, I believe. Penalties, yep, there we go. Yeah, Some Good Salt with 10 seconds, which is going to drop him back down to 5th. But he's still fighting for that 4th position like his life depends on it. Dynamic not letting him get away. Dynamic wanting to make this position up on the track. Goes around the outside, down to the hairpin. Dynamic up to P4. Around the final corner. Dynamic across the line. Some Good Salt gets hit with that penalty. And then you have Pug and Hayden still battling it out. Hayden able to keep Pug behind. Pug going for a desperate move there, even though he doesn't need to, because Hayden does have 3 seconds. Pug gets past the last chance there. Hayden crosses the line with 3-second penalty, followed by the Haas. Driver of the day is our reserve, Pug Life, working his way through the field very impressively. There you got Mr. Chris on the podium. Congratulations to the Mercedes team. Champagne all around. Taking screenshots of those. All right. So that takes us to the end of round 2 in China. Had a wet race there, but everyone seemed to get through pretty decently until it didn't. And then everyone started having a little bit of chaos. So that is the end of tonight's race. Next up is Japan, which is going to be our sprints, which will be interesting because we haven't run sprints in this league in quite some time. So we're going to have to figure that out. But for now, we're going to end the stream for Prowler Racing League. Apologies for all the glitches and network issues. We'll have to work through those. Thanks, everyone. And we will see you guys next week in Japan. Good night.